Hi all, Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club here, and this month we've gone a bit Firkin crazy with the release of our specially bottled Firkin 49 Tullibardine 2012. It's a fantastic whisky from the Firkin Whisky Company, and as always, we're back in our main whisky with a members optional extra. This month from our old mate Ian Schmidt at Tin Shed Distilling, the Iniquity Solera. Righto, so our malt of the month for November is from an independent bottling company headed by whisky legend Mike Collings. If you haven't heard of Mike Collings, let me tell you, his whisky resume could wallpaper your lounge room. He's the man who invented Johnnie Walker Blue Label, as well as the Johnnie Walker Green Label single malt whisky. You may have heard of Diageo's, one of the world's biggest alcohol companies, their classic malts collection. He's the man behind that brand as well, and there's more and more. I could go on and on, but this isn't about Mike, it's about his whisky. Now, we've featured a few expressions from the Firkin lads in the past, but sadly have never been able to offer them as a malt of the month because, well, there's never been enough in the country to be able to accommodate us. So about this time last year, we began working with Mike and Firkin to get enough of their whisky out here to be able to feature one of theirs as our malt of the month. And so what we have for this month is 2 single casks of this amazing whisky bottled especially for the Single Malt Whisky Club. Now, the Firkin range is produced around a common framework of American and French oak, double oak casks. So now, this month's Firkin 49 Tullibardine 2012 is so named the Firkin 49 because both Mike and the Tullibardine distillery share the same birth year, 1949. The double oak casks in this whisky is matured in, are seasoned with a mix of 2 sherries, Amontillado and Oloroso. The Oloroso imparts softer, fruity notes, while the Amontillado adds nutty, drier tones to the mix. So let's Firkin try it, shall we? Here it is. There it is, the colour. It's a light, pleasing, bright amber. On the nose. Oh yeah, I get a very sweet frangipani sort of note at first, but then there's a mild, sort of savoury note follows closely, a bit like salami. Palate. Oh yum, there's sweet nut brittle, stewed fruits, yet more of those floral notes, alongside a sort of a malty milk arrowroot biscuit swirl, but all of this with a delightfully creamy mouthfeel. It's lovely. And the finish? Oh, yum. A mild spice sort of tempers the sweetness a bit, but that nutty maltiness persists and it gently fades out, enticing you to take another sip. Yum. Yum. This is a seriously easy drinking whisky. You won't have just one of these. It's Firkin great, let me tell you. Oh, it's delicious. Now, onto our optional extra for the month. If you remember a couple of months ago, we featured the Starward Solera as our malt of the month. This was the first Solera aged whisky we featured, and it piqued quite a few members' interest. So this month, for our members' optional extra, we've chosen another Aussie Solera aged whisky, this time from our old friends Ian and Vic at Tin Shed Distilling. The Iniquity Solera is a peated offering aged in a 4-step Solera process. If you want to learn a bit more about the Solera process, have a look at our Starward Solera write-up on our website. Now, Ian is a member of our Not So Little Whisky Club, and he was very curious when we featured the Starward Solera, as he'd not had a chance to taste it against his own for comparison. And we thought this was a fantastic opportunity for our members to do so as well, whilst they might still have some of the Starward left, hopefully. This Solera differs from the Starward in that the Iniquity Solera is a peated offering, and I can hear our resident peat freaks cheering now. It's aged in ex-Shiraz barrels in a 4-step Solera process. So, how is it? Well, there it is. Once again, sort of a darker, sort of amber sort of colour, very nice. Not too dark, not too light. Oh, and I get lovely oaky notes first up, and then there's like a salted caramel, some fragrant florals in there with just a mild smoke wafting through the cracks. On the palate, yeah, it's mild but instantly apparent smoke at first, and then sweet yet savoury smoked meat notes, almost like prosciutto wrapped melon maybe. It's delightful. The finish it's lush, it's rich. Oh, it's satisfying, and there's a mild spice that lingers, daring you not to pour another. The smoke notes from the peat definitely add a depth to this whiskey character. Certainly not over the top. Instead, just a delightful counter to the sweetness that abounds, sort of adding a depth to this whiskey that begs you to investigate it further. Oh, delicious. Nice one, Ian and Vic. Great. So, that's our November at the Single Malt Whisky Club. The Firkin 49, Tullibardine 2012, aged in Amontadillo and Oloroso sherry seasoned double oak casks. A double sherry bomb by name and nature. And as our extra, the Iniquity Solera peated from our old friends at Tin Shed Distilling. Both fantastic whiskies, and once again, hard to choose between. So you know my solution to that one. So until next month, it's Brad Wright from the Single Malt Whisky Club. Slanjava.